All right, you guys, here we are back again. I'm hoping I see a lot of you guys from last week. We're on last week's training, which is kind of where this whole closing skills section started. So if you happen to not be on last week or have not watched the recording of last week yet, then I definitely want to make sure you have that. I did post it on the team page today, but if you need it, be sure to ask your team leader or come directly to me to make sure that you are watching last week's training, okay? Last week's training was all about conviction. And like I said, over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about different skills and strategies as far as specifically closing goes. But it all starts with that conviction, and that conviction basically comes down to just your energy and your presence that you're putting out to people as you're sharing the challenge or you're sharing the business opportunity with your new prospects. And that conviction is so extremely important because it just communicates to people beyond what you're saying verbally. It just communicates how much you truly believe in what you're a part of. And so be sure that you definitely watch last week's training. But I'm going to start this training kind of piggybacking off of that a little bit because I want you to really understand and truly believe the fact that you know in your mind that you can literally change the destiny and the legacy of a family that you're talking to and that's on your list of people that you want to share the business opportunity with or change or share the challenge with, because whether it's physically or financially, you can make a huge impact in that family's legacy, meaning, you know, I've done calls with people just specifically about the challenge where they'll share with me how they're like a fourth generation person that is obese or overweight, and they've just seen generation after generation pass down these habits of eating and lack of exercise and lack of really educating themselves in nutrition and health or just taking a step in that direction, and how you can literally just change that legacy of that family and bring health and wellness into that family, where typically that legacy of being sick and overweight and having health issues would have been the legacy that that family would have left behind. So really having a strong conviction that as you're sharing the challenge with people, this is beyond getting another customer so you can get your product for free. This is truly about making an impact in people's lives, and if they're a parent, have them be able to pass on what they're learning and what they're experiencing and the shifts that they're making to their children, and you just never know what that can lead to and the huge impact that that can make. And it's the same as far as the business goes. You know, most people are struggling financially. Okay, most people, an additional $500 coming into their household, would change their life. Okay, and so you really have an opportunity to make a dramatic impact in not only that person, but think about the impact that you can make on the legacy of a family, and that's huge. That can lead to where these people's kids go to college, where the places in the world that they'll travel, the causes they can donate to, the families they can help support. I'm talking life-changing stuff here. So for you to really understand the fact that as you're sharing this challenge or this business opportunity with people, be really confident and be really convicted in the fact that that is truly what you're sharing. This is something really big. This is not some, you know, some piece of jewelry or some fancy apple cutter or, you know, no offense, but some great smelling candle. You know, this is really an opportunity to change people's lives, okay? So really have that conviction in mind as you're talking to people. And remember, you are helping them to make a decision, okay? You are not convincing. You are simply sorting. But just understand the fact that, and you'll learn, you know, I always share on these trainings that one thing you'll learn is that people are funny. People do not like to make decisions, and people do not like to make commitments to things other than maybe their marriage. But overall, the general person, they do not like to commit to things. They do not really like to take full responsibility for things. You know, they want to blame their spouse or their coworkers for the way that they eat and things like that. So just understand that you are helping them to make a decision by just making them aware of certain things, making them aware that, you know, all we're really asking them to do is drink 2 shakes a day, making them aware of the fact that typically in order for them to make more money, they would need to get an additional job, and even then their income is limited by maybe the number of hours they can work or whatever it is, and they still have to answer to a boss. They still have to show up when they're told to show up as opposed to when they want to show up. All those different things that come along with having a job. All you're really doing is you're helping them to make a decision by not being afraid in a very nice way. You know, it's not about being condescending or, you know, telling them that what they're doing is stupid. It's about truly helping them to come to a point of awareness where what they're doing is truly not going to lead them to the results that they want to get. Okay, so it's just having a perspective that they don't have and kind of taking the blinders off in a way to help them to see something that they weren't seeing before. So like I said, all we're doing is sorting, and you're probably looking at this going, what in the world do apples have to do with this? And this is something that I learned from a mentor of mine who had built an organization of hundreds of thousands of people, had made millions of dollars in the industry, and he shared this story of sorting apples. And the whole story is basically about you are looking for red apples. Okay, that's all you're doing. Red apples are the type of people that they get it. You know, when you're talking to them, it just resonates with them. They get the whole challenge thing. They're open to an additional income stream. You know, they don't see it as one of those pyramid schemes. They are, you know, they're willing to be on a 3-way call. They're willing to go to a website and watch a video. They're open. They take action. They follow through on what they say they're going to do. If you say you're going to call them at 1 o'clock, they pick up the phone right at 1 o'clock. They're there. They're present, okay? Those are red apple people. Ideally, those are the people that you're looking for. Okay, you're just like you. If you're on this line tonight, you may not have started out that way, but eventually you became a red apple person. Okay, nobody twisted your arm, nobody bribed you, you know, nobody threatened you to come into this business. It was your decision. You took a look at it, you saw what you needed to see, it made sense. Okay, that's a red apple. That is what you're looking for. And like I was told, let's say that I put you in the middle of an apple orchard and I offer you $100 for all the red apples that you would find. Think about how much time you would spend looking for green ones or looking for the ones that had, you know, become rotten and fallen down to the ground. You would only have vision for the red apples, and it's the same in this business. That is what you're looking for. That is what your energy is going into, okay? That is a red apple. A green apple is somebody that, you know, kind of gets it. They're kind of interested. They like more information. You know, they really want to do their due diligence. They want to, you know, maybe do some research on their own. They want to Google it. You know, they want to YouTube it. They want to do all these different things to get more information, and that's fine. That's fine. But just be careful how you are spending your energy, okay? If you're spending all of your energy, you know, giving them information, and certainly provide them information. I'm not saying leave them hanging, but just be aware of the questions that they're asking, because sometimes people will just ask questions to feel like they're doing something, to feel like they're moving in a certain direction, but honestly, they have no real intention of taking action. They're just kind of spinning their wheels, and you get to become aware of people that are doing that, and you start to see it for what it is, and you kind of, you know, you ask the person, do they have the information that they need? Is there any other information that you can get them? you touch base with them periodically, and you let them know to let you know when they're ready. Kind of leave it at that, but still touching base. You're still staying connected. Maybe drop them in the customer group or the team group and say, hey, just watch the action about what's going on, see the stories that people are sharing, things like that. Okay, that's a green apple. This apple over here is a rotten apple. Rotten apples are people that are just very negative. They think what you're doing is a scam. They think those things never work. They think that, a shake isn't going to do it for them. They think they're always going to be hungry. They're really afraid because they failed before and they don't want to take a chance, and, they're not really willing to take a risk or to have faith or trust in anything, and, they're just kind of very tentative and, don't really see the glass half full, and, those types of people. It's not personal. It's not that you don't like the person. It's not personal. It's just a certain mindset that they're in. It's certain habitual patterns that they've developed that they're not quite ready to change yet. It's just who they are at that moment, but that's not who you're looking for, okay? And sometimes people will come in a red apple, but then, their action is going to really show where they're at. Talk is cheap. I love to hear what people say, but I love even more to see what people are going to do, okay? Get excited. Tell me what you're going to do. Set goals, but then I want to see your feet moving in that direction. So don't get stuck on people. Maybe they've already joined your team, but they're not following the system. They're not getting plugged in. They're not on the phone with you. They're not attending the trainings. They're not attending the events. They're not calling you to stay connected. They're not putting people on the phone with you. They're not having challenge parties. They're not really, using the product like they should. Those are rotten apples, okay? Again, be there, stay connected, but don't put your time and energy in that direction. That's where people get frustrated. And that's where, honestly, where some people want to quit, is because they spend so much of their time and energy on those types of people, okay? They need some personal development. They need some personal growth to get to the point of where they can even see what it is or appreciate what it is that you're sharing with them, okay? So again, it's nothing personal. It's just where they're at. And as far as growing your business, you don't want to spend your time in that place with rotten apples, okay? All right. So think about it this way. How did it feel when by Salas was shared with you? Did anybody really have to twist your arm? Did anybody really have to convince you or threaten you or bribe you to come on to this team? No. Whether you saw it initially or not, you got to a point where it made sense. You came on board. You started taking action. You started taking steps. And again, you're looking for people like that, okay? And it won't be everybody, and that's fine. That's fine. We don't want or need everybody on our team. We don't have a scarcity mindset like, oh, if we don't get this person, we're not going to grow our business. No, those people aren't going to grow your business anyway, so let them go, okay? And here's the deal, and this may hurt a little bit. Give it the same effort you would for a paycheck, okay? I get text messages and emails and phone calls saying, I don't know if this is working, something didn't happen, or Vinet is kind of acting crazy, or, somebody's order got mixed up a little bit, or, things happen. This is a business. This is a multi-million-dollar business, soon to be a billion-dollar business. But, things still happen. Mistakes are still made. I ordered something and got the wrong thing and, sent it back, and those things just happen. It's coming to the point where, here's how I like to put it. The size of your paycheck will depend on the size of the problems that you can solve, okay? And it's all perception. If you see everything as a big deal and a big problem and a big drama, then not only is that going to be how you operate your business from that kind of stressed out place, but it's also the energy that you're going to communicate to your prospects and to your team. And so it's very important that you just, everything has a solution. I teach my kids that. Everything has a solution, and you're going to find what you're looking for. If you're looking for problems and you're looking for, glitches, then that's what you're going to find. But if you're looking for solutions and you're leveraging and you're utilizing your leadership and things like that and calling by Salas and working things out, then you're going to find the solution, and that will enable you to keep moving forward and to not allow the little things to bring you down, okay? Like I just did a getting started training, and you got to understand, like if you were to start a new job, there is a learning curve. There's things that you don't quite know or understand, but that's why you don't automatically get frustrated. You ask questions. Like if you got a job at Starbucks, you would have to learn how to make a latte and a frappuccino and an espresso and, how much of each ingredient to add and, how to run the register and how to work with the personalities of the people that you work with and how to figure out what and how your boss is communicating to you, and there would be all these different things, but you want that paycheck, right? So you're going to do whatever it takes to earn it, and you're not going to quit after a few days of maybe having a challenging time learning some things. So give your business the same effort. Don't get so frustrated. Don't get so flustered, Do at least just as much for yourself as you would do for a boss. Okay? This is your own business. So treat it like a business. There's going to be things that you learn. If you're on this team, you have a tremendous amount of leadership that you can plug into, and just stay on course. Like Jim Rohn talks about, if your sail is solid and set in the direction of the way where you want to go, and you've set goals for yourself, then no matter how strongly the wind blows, because the wind is going to blow, if you stay strong and stay connected and stay focused, then no matter how strongly the wind blows, you can stay off course. You may get knocked off a little bit, but if you are focused and your sail is set, then you're going to keep moving in the right direction, okay? So give yourself that space. All right, so also understand, as you're prospecting and as you're closing on people, you set the pace. They do not. Okay, so you are in a system. Let's say it's a business prospect, and the whole two-step process with a business prospect is have them watch the overview video at overview.bysalas.com and have them get on the phone with one of your leaders, because two things. One is that leader is typically going to be able to answer questions in a way that you can't, or let's say you're on the same level as that leader, but it's just third-party credibility. It's hearing it from somebody else. It's hearing somebody else's story. It's hearing somebody else's experience. It's hearing somebody else's confirmation that this is working, okay? So just an example of setting the pace, okay? You have someone, they're interested in the business, you say, great. All we do is we take people through a two-step process. I'm going to send you to a website. It's a 24-minute video. When do you think you'll be able to watch it? Okay, don't just say, I'm going to send you a video, let me know when you've watched it. That is not taking a leadership position. You want to establish yourself as a leader from step one. So you find out from them, because otherwise they're going to procrastinate. You find out from them when they're going to watch the video. If they say, well, I don't know, da-da-da, in the back of your mind, you're kind of thinking, you don't know when you can take 20 minutes to watch a video, So just say, when can you watch a 20-minute video? And they'll tell you. They'll say, oh, well, tonight when I get home from work, or tonight after I put the kids to bed, or, tomorrow during my lunch break. They'll give you a time, and you say, great, okay, well, I want to go ahead and set it up where after you've watched the video, I'm going to get you on the phone with my mentor, and they're going to be able to answer any questions that you have. So when's a good time to set up that call? Because, I need to schedule it with her or with him to make sure they're available. So there you go. There's your next step. You're telling them what the next step is always. So when they're watching the video, when that follow-up call is. You have a plan. You're not leaving it up to them to watch the video and get back to you, and you're waiting on them, and you're twiddling your thumbs, and you're wondering, all these things. No, you set the pace, okay? and you're always telling them what the next step is. So you're never bugging them because they were aware of your follow-up plan. They knew, okay, she's going to be calling me. There's going to be somebody else on the line. They're calling me Thursday night at 6 o'clock. They're expecting it. You're not bugging them at all because you have a plan. You're following steps. You're setting a schedule. You know, it's a completely different place that you're coming from than just this person that's a part of this business who is really hoping that this other person signs up, and, you know, you really need them. You know, you really need them to grow this business. You need people, yes, but you need the ones that want it. You need the ones that are going to take action. You need the ones that are going to follow up on what they say they're going to do, okay? So you're never bugging them. So get out of that mindset, because I know a lot of you guys come to me with that, well, I don't want to bug them, you know, I don't want to hound them, I don't want to bother them. No, you have positioned yourself with this conviction. You have a plan, you're following this simple process, and you're doing what you're saying you're going to do. It's not bugging them at all. So get that out of your head. And you are demonstrating leadership from impression one, meaning that, you know, they may not have ever seen you as a leader, but you're following the system. And again, it's not what you're saying, it's what you're communicating. Okay? It's how you're communicating it. It's the energy and the conviction that you have. So you make that impression from the minute one, and they're going to sense, wow, you know, she really believes in this. He really believes in this. Maybe I should take a look at it. Okay? That impression is going to make an impression. Okay? It's gonna have a stamp on how they're feeling about what you're communicating to them. Okay? All right. All right. So as you're prospecting people, you know, a lot of people join this business and they feel like they know everybody so well, but they want to go and they want to tell their prospects why they should join the business and what it can do for them. Okay? And in a way that's okay, you know, because you want to be specific about how this business can help them. But what you really want to do is you want to become very familiar with the goals, dreams, desires, and needs. You want to become very familiar with what, I'm realizing my typo here, with what the goals, dreams, desires, and needs are of your prospect, okay? That's very important because everybody is an individual, and you want to treat them as an individual. I don't care if you have 100 people on your list, I'm hoping you do, but every single person has their own place, their own experience, their own story, their own needs. And that's what you want to address. You want to really get into that person's heart because you want to develop that level of trust. And part of what I do when I'm put on a three-way call with people is, you know, they're typically a complete stranger to me. But if I can develop that level of trust with them by asking them questions and just getting them to talk about themselves, because there's, you know, people love to talk about themselves more than anything else. And it's not that they're selfish, it's just human nature. So your job is to listen and to shut up. And you're listening, you know, you're not just letting them talk and putting the phone down and folding their laundry. You are finding clues about what motivates them, okay? Because you want to address those things directly, okay? You want to address those things directly. Because if you can say, oh, well, this will help you pay for your kids to go to college, or this will help you to travel in a way that you want to travel, or this will help you to move to the neighborhood that you want to live in, or this will help you to support your parents in a way, or a family member that you want to be able to support, or this will enable you to have that additional income that you can donate to the cause that you want to donate to. You address them directly, okay? And you want to find out if their job is ever going to allow them to do that, and 99% of the time the answer is going to be no. Okay? So this is actually our last slide here. Like, you know, you guys know I like to keep this at about 30 minutes, but you basically want to find out what makes them tick and understand the fact that it may be nothing that makes you tick. So You know, like I always tell you guys, I love network marketing because it is really personal development with a compensation plan. And part of personal development is really learning how to connect with people. And the best way to connect with people is not superficially, but to really connect with them on a heart-to-heart level. And you develop such strong relationships in this business because you are working together with that person on a lot of times a common goal that you guys have together, but then other times very specific goals that this person has for themselves or for their family. And so it's very, very important that you take the time, you take the initiative, you really have the desire to get to know your prospects, to really want to get into their heart. And part of that is sharing yours. You know, you can't expect somebody to open up their heart without opening up yours as well. And you will be so amazed at the relationships that will be developed. And I can honestly say, you know, the people on my team, they're like family. You know, and it's because I know their desires, I know their hearts, I know what they're working towards, I know how this is helping them or how it's going to help them, and that's very, very important to me. I take that very seriously, and I take that as a personal responsibility to help them to achieve those very specific goals and aspirations that they have. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up with that. If you guys have any questions, you know, go ahead and shoot them over right now. But again, you know, this is not all about just the hows of what to say. You know, say this, say this, say this, say this. This is truly about the process and the why of these closing skills, because then when you say it, it's going to come across differently than just words off of a page, okay? So, I don't see any questions coming up. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick roll call. I forgot to do that last week. I apologize, but I know team leaders like to know if their team members are on these trainings. If you know of someone that was not able to make it, I try to get these recordings up as quickly as possible. So between tonight and tomorrow morning, the recording will be up on the team page. So make sure that your team members see it if they were not able to be on the line tonight. So I have Charmaine, I have Dar, Diane Penner, Ginger, Heather Manley, Janet Davis, Carla Bishop, Christy Bridge, Ladiva Gary, Loretta Vinson, Lori Dunn, Marilyn Harris, Michael Coppin, Michelle Smith, Michelle Allen Scott, Rhonda Dean, Tab Butler, Tammy Cowden, Terry Hart, Travis Harris, Wanda, and Zoe Hansen. So, all right, let's see. I'm just looking at the questions here. Oh, awesome. Carla, shout out to my sister-in-law Debbie and her team, as I believe they are on our call tonight. Awesome. All right. Sometimes they're listening in with somebody else. Call in from Debbie, Lori. Is that Charlotte? Awesome. Okay, Michelle. I think that's you, Michelle. Yes, Michelle Allen Scott, who is one of our Canadian regional directors, says, if you are new, the green apple is so key to understand and to re-listen over and over to understand a no is okay and brings you closer to a yes. Absolutely. Yes. In that sorting process, you know, 7 out of 10 people are going to say no. You know, that's kind of the statistic. So the more no's you get just gets you closer to a yes. And you know, again, the green apple, it's sometimes not that they're not interested, it's just timing is so key in this industry. Like I know there are a couple people on the line tonight where maybe they were a customer and the business wasn't really in alignment with them initially, but after using the product and being on the challenge and getting great results and kind of naturally sharing it with people, they were like, oh, well, you know, maybe this business deal would make sense. So, yes, absolutely. Stay in touch. Right, like Carla is saying, I was a green apple once. That's right. Good. So stay in touch with your green apples. That's what I'm saying. But don't invest all of your time and energy in your green apples, okay? All right. So I really hope this is helping you guys just to make some shifts in your mindset, gaining your confidence, changing your conviction level, and really helping you guys out because, like I've been saying, I've been doing a lot of calls over the last few days, and 2012 is seriously an opportunity just for you to make a dramatic change in your financial situation and make a big impact in a lot of people's lives. So take that seriously. You're very welcome, Heather. Thank you, sweetie. Take that very seriously. Have strong conviction. Don't feel bad or shy about anything that you're sharing with people because it will only help them physically or financially. And you have just a really, really great thing going on here. And all you're doing is doing the responsible thing and sharing it with the people that you know it can benefit. So that's it, you guys. Love you guys. Really appreciate you. There will not be a training next week because it is Christmas Day. I wish you guys a very, very Merry Christmas. I know you guys are a tremendous gift to me, and I'm just so appreciative of every single one of you guys, really, and just so thankful that each and every one of you guys have come into my life, and you guys really are a gift. So enjoy your families. Merry, Merry Christmas. We will be back on the following week, okay? I'm not sure the date of that, but it'll be that following Sunday, and we will be good to go. So use these strategies, use these skills, watch these recordings over and over again. Thank you, Zoe, and thank you, Heather, and thank you, Kristen. And just put it to work. You know, get that fear out of the way. That fear is only going to hold you back. Do not allow false evidence appearing real, which is what fear stands for, to hold you back in any way. And just make the decision, make the commitment, have the conviction that 2012 is going to be your life-changing year. So have a great night. Talk to you soon. Good night.